We're gonna play some Triple Trouble. And my actual, goal with, the, uh, with this is sort of to make a narrative for the, um, Chaos Emeralds in a way. Because there's sort of a gap where they're just on Angel Island. And then they're just, not. Increase the volume a little for this. Now, like I've said plenty of times, if you take the Game Gear games at face value, there's no possible way for them to be in the same canon. They actually flow very well into their own separate timeline, with the exception of this one, because Knuckles is just suddenly there. And I kept mixing things up. I kept saying that Angel Island or South Island starts to sink in Sonic 2. That's not it. The only plot in Sonic 2 is that instead of in the Genesis version where Sonic and Tails meet up and have to save West Side Island, it's just suddenly there's Tails and he's on South Island and he gets kidnapped by Eggman. And you gotta save him. And if you don't get all the Chaos Emeralds, I guess Tails dies. It's pretty grim. And I don't think we can even, try and work that. I get that Eggman has kidnapped people before that are a threat to him, and have kidnapped them in the future. But, there's no time for it to happen. It's just, we have Sonic 2 already. And then it's Sonic Chaos, where the plot is supposedly that, the 6 emeralds still on South Island. Eggman steals one of them. For some reason they have to specify it's the red one, but it shows up orange in the game. So again, in this game, there are 2 yellow emeralds, an orange and a red. Ooh, we need Sonic's cool new power in this. Rocket shoes. This is also in Sonic Chaos. And those colors I just said for the Chaos Emeralds, I don't think they're even consistent in the previous 3 games for the Game Gear and Master System. Did I? Oh, well, okay. I got a little ambitious. I could attempt to get all the Chaos Emeralds. I probably won't succeed. They're very wonky, but I do want to show what they're like in this. So Eggman steals that Chaos Emerald, and the emeralds scatter because they're out of balance, and South Island starts to sink as a result, and why would that happen? It doesn't make any sense. I don't even know if South Island was a floating island in the Master System version of Sonic 1. Did I say floating, or moving? I can never remember what I say. Oh, hey Knuckles, what are you doing here? Oh. So what did they say the story for this one is? In Chaos, they start, Eggman uses, like, actually, in pretty much all of the 8-bit ones after Sonic 1, Eggman uses bigger animal robots instead of actually, like, an Eggmobile machine. Like the turtle I just defeated. I think it's called Tart Turtle. I don't know why. Nailed it. They said, like, Eggman finally got the 6 emeralds and made a Doomsday weapon, but something went horribly wrong, and I keep messing that up. Just like Eggman. And the emeralds scattered all over the world. And somehow, Knuckles has been tricked into... See, I actually didn't screw up that time, but it didn't want me to do it, so I'm just not gonna go up there anymore. Knuckles has been tricked again and is... You saw at the beginning of this, he took 5 of the emeralds, and Eggman kept 1. But for some reason, as the game continues, there is a third antagonist, Knack the Weasel, renowned treasure hunter of wherever the heck he's from. Perhaps South Island. Doesn't really matter in this. He is guarding them in the special stages. So... how can we make this all make sense? Well, let's start with the time period. It's between Knuckles Chaotix and Sonic CD. And I think it's pretty shortly after Knuckles Chaotix, because I remember how I thought it'd be a cool idea if that Mania Adventures was somewhat canon. We can kind of say that is. We can kind of use the terminology that these games give it, though. So say Eggman goes back to Angel Island while Knuckles is distracted, and he steals one of the Chaos Emeralds, and the rest of them scatter, because we can make that make sense. We've had several instances so far about the will of the Chaos Emeralds taking play. So perhaps that does actually happen. It has nothing to do with balance. And what he uses that emerald for is actually to create his machine. His Doomsday machine, kinda? Not really. Yeah, I think what we're doing, I think we're combining the plots of Chaos and Triple Trouble. So, the machine he makes with this Chaos Emerald he steals is something to... actually, like, maybe even... let's say it's a machine that does cause... He's causing Angel Island to sync with it, for sure. But I don't think he gets far with this. Sonic probably, like, catches on to it pretty quickly and stops him pretty quickly, and that's when something goes wrong. We don't even have to keep that, do we? Man, it'd be good to have some, like... opinion on this to help me through. I don't know, I want to make sense out of Knuckles and Knack a little. And I think they're working together for Eggman, and I think we can say that Knuckles hasn't been tricked. He's been brainwashed. It seems reasonable, right? What? Knuckles... Why is Knuckles here, though? I think is the question. There's some pieces to put together here that I'm lapsing in how I was thinking it. Oh, cool. It starts me right at here. So Eggman steals a Chaos Emerald from Angel Island while Knuckles is not there because of Chaotix. The Emeralds scatter. When Knuckles returns to the island, he probably actually hitches a ride with Sonic and Tails on the Tornado because they showed up at the end of Chaotix. Oh, hello, Deneb. I'm creating additional headcanon to the series for the sake of Metal Sonic using Game Gear games. So Knuckles sees that the emeralds are gone. His Master Emerald is still there. The island is still in the sky. But he returns to South Island. He goes to South Island because, you know, everything's still nearby. This boss only takes 3 hits, and I'm so deep in my thought process that it didn't happen. And when Knuckles goes to, I'm gonna say, okay, so Eggman does his thing, creates a weapon that causes South Island to start sinking. Sonic actually collects the rest of the emeralds. During that little jaunt over, because like we said, the emeralds have a bit of a will of their own, they like being used for positive things. This is almost an exact quote from a later game. And I guess perhaps Eggman tries to take them from Sonic, like, and use them to finish causing the island to sink, and that's when something goes horribly wrong, and the emeralds scatter. It doesn't have to be around the world. No, it shouldn't. I don't think it is. No, okay. I got it. Sonic stops the island from sinking. Knuckles comes late to warn about the emeralds being lost. He gets captured in that moment and is brainwashed. The logistics of how he's brainwashed so that he's a villain in this game, we can leave that to the imagination. Doesn't matter. And that's when Knuckles once again steals the emeralds from Sonic. And so Eggman still has one. And let's say he hires Knack the Weasel while Sonic's on his way to stop him. And maybe he'd like promise falsely he wouldn't give up the emeralds, but promises after he's done using them he'll give the emeralds to Knack, so we're gonna meet Knack in a bit. So in the special stages, here we are in a special stage, there's 2 different versions actually. There are these regular ones where you collect, I think you collect 50 rings. And perhaps you destroy those things that I just destroyed. I just do both, just in case. And Knack is either waiting for you at the end with a trap that will backfire if you have the right conditions, or you do a little tornado segment, which is like, it has all of the problems that Sonic Advance 1 and 2's special stages have, except worse because it's an 8-bit game. Oh, that was timed. I don't think I need it. And after that, Knack will be waiting for you with a boss mech to fight. So you get a special stage boss battle. It's very strange for this series, but perhaps not so strange for this game, the Game Gear one specifically. Here we are. Got plenty of rings. It's just like the button Knuckles had. Spring. Oh no. You got one on the other account. Yeah, so his trap backfired, so we just get an emerald. So I'm probably not gonna get all of these. There's no green emeralds in these. I don't get it. Like, I know that the blue emerald's the first one you get in Sonic 1. I don't know why that's, like, the quintessential emerald in the non-canon series. There is blue, yellow, orange, red, and in this one, black, which is sometimes glowing inverted colors. It's nothing like the emeralds we know. I got distracted being upset about emeralds again. Like, that might be my biggest pet peeve with, like, any non-canon Sonic. It's how the emeralds are always so wrong. And I think the reason that bothers me is because how much I love, that the emeralds are, in normal canon, the actual colors of Beryl. Like, all of them. I don't know, I almost don't think they did that on purpose. So, Eggman hired Knack to guard the emeralds. If you do best Knack in all of the special stages, I think there's only 4, actually. And in the final stage, he will be like, hey Sonic, I respect you actually, and give you the last one he has. And then you take the 6th one from Eggman. I guess what's in... we are 3 stages away from that. But I think we have something so far. I think we've, like, sort of... I guess the question is, this game, in its instructions manual, says that the emeralds scatter all over the world, and we don't see that happen in the game, so I think we have to ignore that. We see Knuckles steal them from Sonic. And then Eggman has one, and then Knack is knacking about. I might as well remind us, you did see Knack briefly in Sonic Mania when Heavy Magician transformed into him, as well as Bean and Bark, who we figured would be around for Sonic 4 The Fighters, because they are both in Sonic The Fighters. Nice. But the next stage is a boss, so 50 rings does not matter. You get different bonuses from the different signpost icons. An emerald means you get 50 rings at the start of the next act, which is perfect for getting a Chaos Emerald, if it's an act with a Chaos Emerald. Ooh, I didn't even go into that. One of the reasons this... You got the peel out from CD in this. And if we place these games between Chaotix and CD, that makes this the first chronological point where he has it, so it's sort of like... We do, it is sort of an improvement of Sonic's skills happening, that they continue to happen. I didn't even, like, say anything like that during CD for my claim of how late in the game and late in the classic continuity it takes place. The peel-out's really powerful, honestly, and that's the only classic game he naturally has it in. Why would he lose that if it's earlier? Like, Metal Sonic's continuity, which is why we're here, aside. Oh, why do I keep doing that? I have this bad habit in this game that half of the, power-ups, the special power-ups you get, I will just immediately jump. And for most of them, that cancels them. It doesn't for the rocket shoes, because you are in midair. But for the snowboard, the underwater boots, and the springboard, they all cancel when you jump off of them. Also, my take on this zone here, I guess, like, they try to play forward that we're going different parts of the world, but this is called Robotnik Winter. And I think, so, like, the first stage was called, The Great Turquoise? Not Turquoise Hill? Turquoise Hill was the first stage in, Chaos? Sonic Chaos? It's clearly the same place. I think that's supposed to be, like, an area of Green Hill. We see a jungle area on South Island later. So, Meta Jungrila, we were just in. There's also a jungle zone in the 8-bit version of Sonic 1. What I think this place is, actually, is Sonic, Robotnik caused an artificial winter on the island, and this is another part of Green Hill. Why else would it be called Robotnik Winter? I mean, this island can't be in good shape if we follow the actual happenings of this game very closely, because we have twice had it set on fire by Knuckles. Good old brainwashed Knuckles. Ooh. Can't get back up there? Alright. Guess we're not taking a shortcut. A very handy shortcut if you keep the snowboard to that high route. I'm talking like if you're speedrunning this thing and you miss it, it's quicker to just restart the level. Yeah, I don't think this is my favorite 8-bit Sonic game easily, which is not a high bar, but this is a solid game. And I never realized this is actually the only one that doesn't explicitly say it takes place on South Island. Also, like, the world it established isn't very big. It might as well be on South Island. Every area can be justified as a place we're familiar with already, actually. Ow. Oh, where did the... Okay, sure. The platform disappeared. So it kind of feels like Sonic got a bit of a quill cut. This is like the shortest his quills are ever. I know you can chalk that up to 8-bit graphics being silly. These are very big sprites for 8-bit. Try and mimic Sonic 3 and stuff. Also, I think I mentioned before that, much like how Advance and Rush were developed by Dimps. Okay. This was developed by a side company not actually related to Sonic Team, which is probably how it just started. Like, there wasn't technically a Sonic Team at the point, it was just, we had the two creators of Sonic and their respective teams working on these games, and so there was a third one that was just doing whatever, making solid games that aren't the best, but they're solid. There we go. That's the kind of smooth moves I need right now. We'll just damage boost this way. Hi there. Nice. Nailed it. Perfect. Very cool. I think I also have the cartridge for this for Game Gear. I just don't have a Game Gear. Of course, luckily, Sonic Adventure DX has all of them. I almost kind of want to play Tails Adventure next. We could fit Tails Adventure into this little chronology, too. The fun thing is it doesn't actually have to take place before the first Sonic, like the Game Gear continuity does. This is not Sonic the Hedgehog 3, though. It is technically Sonic and Tails 2, which Sonic and Tails series on, that's their Japanese title. I'm awful at the 8-bit version of Sonic 2, so I don't know how good it really is. I've never gotten past Sky High Zone. I'm surprised I got past the Antlion boss. But I really like the Sonic and Tails games. Even though playing as Tails isn't as fun as I'd like it to be. It has Knuckles. Oh, you see? You've walked into a very fun little stream here where I am trying to make this canon within the canon timeline, because the Game Gear games are absolutely not, if you take them at face value. They're their own timeline, which is cool in itself. They're good games. And what I decided at least, no one has been back and forth with me on this, is Knuckles, after Eggman stole a Chaos Emerald from Angel Island, where they last were, to bring them to create a device to cause South Island to sink, as is the plot of Sonic Chaos. He gets captured and brainwashed and immediately steals the Chaos Emeralds back from Sonic, as we see in the opening cutscene of this game. And so now Knuckles, none the better, is setting South Island on fire and causing avalanches on Sonic. Until we defeat him at the end of this stage, which, you know, I guess almost drowning unwashes your brainwashing. And then we have to save him from his little cage that Eggman puts him in. It did try to be Sonic and Knuckles too. That also had a very different name in a less confusing name in Japan. It was and in Brazil. It was called G-Sonic. It's also not my favorite, but I don't know if I've actually played it through all the way. I have it on Virtual Console. I have it on here. Ooh, let's see if we can keep this. Okay, I guess you can't. Yeah, I've said this before, and I should probably reiterate it too. The way they handled these Game Gear games... Well, here's how they actually tried to handle these Game Gear games. For each release, there is of the Genesis titles, there is a coinciding Game Gear title to basically be the handheld version for you to play. And this is most clear with the first Sonic the Hedgehog, which they're the same game, same plot. And then Sonic 2 came out for the Game Gear slightly earlier than the Genesis, and it took these games in a completely different direction. Sonic Chaos has the peel out, like in CD. It's supposed to match CD's release. Sonic Triple Trouble has Knuckles in it. It's to match Sonic 3. And Sonic Blast has you can play between Sonic and Knuckles, like in Sonic and Knuckles. That's the one it matches. Though they give it the graphics of Sonic 3D Blast, so it's, I don't know, confusing choice for America specifically. There is no Game Gear equivalent for Sonic 3D Blast or Knuckles Chaotix. I don't think. No! I always get this wrong because it came out way earlier, but Sonic Labyrinth is the equivalent for Sonic 3D Blast. Sonic 3D Blast is in fact inspired a little by Labyrinth to do that isometric style, but for the Genesis and later Saturn. But it came out around the same time as Sonic 3, so it's 3 years early. See, that would make sense if it came out knowing anything about the plot of Sonic CD. And like I said, after Sonic 2, they just went on with their whole thing, and they made games to focus on Sonic and Tails. Honestly, I would love for Amy to be in way more classic games that, take place before CD. And I know, there's hints that Sonic Origins is gonna throw this right under the bus, but the logic I have come to is that Sonic CD takes place after the continuous story of Sonic 1, 2, and 3, and Knuckles Chaotix was made to bridge 3 to CD by taking place directly after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but introducing Metal Sonic. Yeah. Amy and her car. That car she kept for Sonic R. A good time. This is nice. I have plenty to talk about right now. We're out of plot to talk about. And then Sonic Drift 2 having Metal Sonic in there. There's plenty of racing games with Amy and Sonic, Metal Sonic. Right this area, okay. I think what I meant to say by that is apparently they're trying to canonize that she does tarot card readings in that latest art from Sega. Ooh, okay. We should be able to do the second Chaos Emerald. It's good. I do like... I might perhaps like, Amy's full color scheme later on better. But I do like her classic scheme. The way that the green and pink contrast is very good. I just wish that, like, Amy had more fun times before Sonic Advance 1, where she's playable. Like, in a platforming sense. Oh, so, the problem with that... the real issue with Sonic 1's Labyrinth boss is, like, you're not even chasing Eggman. And, like, this became very apparent to me when I started speedrunning Sonic 1. Eggman's just blocking your way so that you get hit by traps. If you're in a slow bubble, that's a nightmare for those traps. You'll get hit instantly. God, Labyrinth is, like, my least favorite zone in the entire 2D series. But I have a way through it, through speedrunning. Trying to get to 80? One more. Okay. So after 80 rings and this little tornado thing... Oh, it's more just like the graphics are weird. You fight Knack in a little battle. He has like a bouncy motorcycle or something. Reminds me of the Sonic Advance secret base boss a little, but less deadly. Take it, bud. Yeah, I don't expect to get... I know where one more Chaos Emerald chance is. I guess, like, you only need to get 4, so it wouldn't have been too hard if I got that first Emerald. If I'm remembering correctly, that Knack does give you the final one out of respect. If you get 4. Yeah. It was a long time ago last time I completed this game. And I'm mostly here just to show the Metal Sonic battle. I don't think they should do that. I think the only additional character I would want to see for Sonic 3 would actually, again, be Amy, just to, like, start getting her involved before she gets kidnapped in CD. Like, have her sneak onto Angel Island while it's on, just to, like, follow her hero. But, again, like, I've said Amy should be playable in a good handful of things. Even if she's not powerful, even if it's hard mode, like in Sonic Advance. I just want her to have fun. How far back did we go? Gosh, all the way back here. Why would Knuckles do that, though? That's the thing. That's where we get confused with, like, this game. Why we need to resort to, brainwashing. Like, Knuckles, as soon as Eggman betrays him and Sonic's ready to help in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, they're friends. And, like, anytime Knuckles has been tricked recently... No, like, anytime Knuckles has been tricked recently, it has been more plain to, Knuckles' hot-headed nature, and, like, hey, I'm trying to do this thing, why would Sonic be in my way? Don't be in my way, Sonic. And less that, like, he's working for Eggman in the way he was originally in Sonic and Knuckles. Because, naturally, in Sonic and Knuckles, and Sonic 3, Eggman was like, I will protect you, your emerald, from this menace that's here to get it, as so in the prophecy, in the Hidden Palace mural. I will make sure he does not steal the Master Emerald. And then steals the Master Emerald. Because he pulled the prophecy in reverse. Like, ever since Sonic 3 and Knuckles, I don't think Knuckles has truly felt Sonic was an enemy. More so a rival and a nuisance at times. And then, of course, by the time we hit, like, Sonic Heroes, Knuckles is literally just hanging out. He's just vibing. Like, Angel Island might not have even lifted off after Sonic Adventure. We're not quite sure about that. So he's just hanging out with Tails in the tornado. The Master Emerald will be fine, don't worry about it. Rouge isn't gonna steal it again. Eggman might. Eggman does in Runners. There's the man himself. The silly little lad. Chuckles so much in this. Takes so many hits. And he drowns. But see, here's why I'm saying, after that encounter, brainwashing actually makes sense. If he gets snapped out of brainwashing when he's defeated there, from, like, I don't know, almost drowning, why would he be in the Atomic Destroyer Zone at all, to be in a cage, for Sonic to have to let him out? Maybe he's like, oh, that Eggman, I'm gonna get him for this. Nailed it. And he gets put in a cage. In fact, probably with the help of Metal Sonic. Because he's here too. He's the first boss of this stage. There are 4 bosses at the end of this stage. Oh. Now, admittedly, one of Eggman's forms is very short. It takes, like, 3 hits. Also, you know it's a final level in a Game Gear Sonic when there's tubes. probably not going the right way. I lost track of where I am. Yeah, I was ahead of the time. Okay. There we go. No, there we don't go. There we go. Good spin dash. And see how much lag this game gets. Like, even though we're emulating it on, like, a GameCube version of a Sonic Adventure, you can't get that lag out of these games. How long have we been live? Only an hour and a half. Okay, good. That's about as predicted. A little bit of this silly goofins in this. After playing as Metal Sonic earlier. Oops. This is still Act 1, right? I feel like I messed something up. I did mess something up. Okay. This level's so windy. This way. It's literally the end of the stage. No. It's... There we go. This is the end of the stage. Almost there. Oop. I'll take it. As long as I don't fall down again. And yet these elevators are still not as slow as the ones in Knuckles Chaotix. That's why I wish they'd do a remastered Knuckles Chaotix. Oh, whoops. There are very few things that game needs to be, like, my favorite game. Right there with Sonic 3. They want to just decanonize it. Ugh. That was incorrect. we go. Remember that layout. Okay. Now, remember, we decided that Sonic completely missed out on Metal Sonic and Knuckles Chaotix. And did not encounter him in Sonic Chaos. So he's with his cool rocket shoes. And what happens? Someone who looks like you, a robot that looks like you, gains on you and breaks them. And that's your first encounter with this lookalike. That's, like, threatening as hell. That's a great introduction of Metal for Sonic, I feel. Like, you had an actual battle, too, not just a race. Though the race is more intense, I would say. For sure. And he just flies away. He's not destroyed. See, Max here, he's... I don't know why he'd be here if, he wasn't hired by Eggman. Oops. Like, the instruction manual definitely tries to make him sound like an independent agent. I don't know, maybe he came here to steal Eggman's thing. Oh, we could run it that way. Especially if I'm remembering correctly that he respects Sonic if you get all the Chaos Emeralds. You could say that he was just trying to steal them from Eggman too. And no, that doesn't make any sense because he had one of Eggman's mechs. So he had to have been hired by Eggman. It was very clear he didn't know how to use that. Hit that fungus. No, I needed that. Okay. This is gonna be an immediate death. This boss is stupid hard. Because of the way moving Sonic works in this. Those beams are really fast. It kind of resembles Sonic 1's final boss in a way. Also, like, I really want some, like, Rouge versus Knack shenanigans. That perhaps Knuckles gets caught in the middle of. I just want these treasure hunters to all go on out. All out. That ring. Great jump. bullshit. Double mintchocolatebullshit.com. Why would the ring lose there? It does kind of suck that for like every 30 rings you get, you will drop one ring. You will keep, if you have more than 30, you will keep whatever you have more than that, but... Limitations of 8-bit games. Based on games designed for 16-bit and up. These take so many hits. Also, like, I think I have to say, like, the intensity of these Eggman bosses here really lends credence to, like, this man has made a Death Egg already. And he's got some tools that he can still use. It is a very aggressive display for an Eggman here. You just take it. Ow. You can't, like, easily move out of the way. Like, I can't even get a hit in this entire cycle. Okay, and he needed one hit, because I just kept getting hit. It's ridiculous. I need to, like, watch how a speedrunner does that. I don't think there's, like, any distinct difference in the ending, if you get all of them or not. I don't even remember if there's credits. Like, other than Knack doing this. See, why are there two... I guess it's yellow, orange, and red. No, but like, it showed two yellows before. I guess you only get credits if you get full. Thanks.